It is the Friday before Thanksgiving. Welcome to Team 1-1, everybody. A round of 16 is here. Only the best are left. 4 ranked teams were eliminated last week. All of the 1 seeds in each classification are still in it. So we get right to it. Beginning in AA, Swainsboro traveling to Hapeville Charter, a very good Hapeville Charter team. This one is mic'd up from Born to Compete.
You gonna make your name today. You understand?
Yes, sir.
You want clap. You clap. How you feel? How you feel? Yeah!
Team 1-1, Born to Compete. Welcome to the show.
Swainsboro rebounded after a losing streak to end the season. Can they handle the 2017 champs? There is Jeremy Stevens to Rico Powers Jr., the touchdown for the Hornets. Now shotgun formation, Swainsboro quarterback scrambling, putting it up top. Who will get it? Jump ball. And Armani Maddox coming down with the INT. That sets up the handoff. Shotgun here to Carroll. He gets the big move and also the touchdown. Stevens is his favorite receiver, and man, oh man, you know who that is. That is Rico Powers, and it's all Hapeville, 70-28. 70-28, wow.